Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to make a wooden pot hanger. As you can see, we basically are working with floor tiles. As you can see, the wood I'm using is actually for wooden floor. So we have these edges that we need to cut down into uniform shapes, and that's the first thing that we're going to start with. So before we can get started, we just need to adjust our table saw and make sure that the planks are going to be uniform once we cut them. So now that our saw is set up, the next thing to do is to start cutting our wood. Okay, so now our planks are nice and uniform, and the next thing we need to start doing is cutting them in half so they are the right size for our frame. Okay, so after that exercise, we can see that our planks are nice and uniform. And the next step will be just to trim the width of these planks because we don't want our frame to be too thick, and that's going to be our next step. Here we can see that we've adjusted our saw and we're just going to start trimming down our planks. Okay, so all our planks have been cut in half, and here you can see that they are nice and uniform. Unfortunately, the blade did leave a few marks on the wood, but we will sort this out by sanding it down a bit later on. So our next step is to cut the edges of the wood at a 45-degree angle so that we're able to join the pieces of wood nicely at the end to give them a nice and round finish. One mistake that I did make here is not to set my saw depth at the correct height. This meant that my first cut was a bit short and I actually had to adjust my saw depth and cut each wood twice in order to have them nice and uniform and the same length at the end of the day. So with our 45-degree cuts done, here you can see how easy it's going to be to join these edges and the nice finish that we get at the end. So like I said earlier on, we do have these blade marks on our wood, so the next step will be just to sand them down and give them a nice finish. So you can see how we are going to join the wood, and we're just going to use the small nails just to join the wood together. They are very small, and the idea behind this is so we don't actually see the nails at the end of the day. So just before I started joining the planks, I actually saw that having them all the same length didn't really look good for me. So I just went and made the top and bottom sections a bit shorter, and I feel that this is going to give it a bit more of an interesting look. So the next part is just joining our wood with our nails, and this is a bit of a time lapse just to show you how I'm building the frame. So here we can see that our frame is finished, but there are a few edges that stand out a bit. So we're just going to use the sander just to get a nice rounded edge on each of the corners. The next step is to drill a hole where we can hang our pot from. I'm going to use a 10mm drill tip, and this should give us enough space to put a piece of string through. So I've put a piece of rope through the drill hole that we made, and I'm just going to make a basic knot to keep the string in place where we can then hang our pot from. I'm also going to use a lighter just to burn off the edges of the rope so that we have a nice and clean finish. So here is our final product. I've just hanged a pot on a piece of string that we put in place, and now we have a freestanding pot that we can use. I'm going to use this for outside use, put a coat of paint over it, and then it's done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more woodworking content.